flowers and trellis. That's what card 37 is all about. A nice shaped card, so one where we've got these lovely curved corners and they complemented by the oval in the centre. And this is one where the decoration inside and out the card is also important. So inside we've got mats and layers where they're lifted slightly off the base. That means that we need to take that into consideration when we're actually building the card itself. The card front has got this lovely trellis on it, and I've taken some foam and put that on the back. The base, the white base, is the first of the layers, and then the black has been put over the top. Now, this one isn't perfectly lined up. Don't worry about that, because I'm going to show you a little trick on how to actually make that better. So sometimes, you know, we're making our cards and we don't always get the perfect result every time. But what we do is look at different ways of being able to rescue it. So to line this one up, I'm looking at where those holes are. I want the holes to disappear across the whole of the card. I don't want to see any of them. I want to then press that down, and I'm going to have that in the perfect place. So when I then come to put my mats and layers on, they are also going to be positioned perfectly. If I close that up, you can see that that really is quite accurate. Then finally, that flounce in the middle with that lovely decorative edge. Now we need to take this panel and we put it over the outside. And this is an important design feature because the line that you've got around the outside edge is broken up by these shapes, and the shapes aren't all the perfect finish. They're not all exactly the shape that we started with. Some of them are cut off on the corners, some of them are cut right through. So if we were to be able to put something over the top of them that joined them up and gave us a more professional finish, that would definitely be our preference. So what we do is this. And that is the finishing touch. And look at how nicely that's finished that aperture. Now, I'd be happy with that as a card in its own right, but I would love to be able to see some flowers over the top. And you know, when I said to you, we've got different ways of being able to get away from anything that's not perfectly straight. Take a look at this, because I'm just going to shape these flowers a little bit to give me some dimension. I'm going to take my silicone and I'm going to use that to lift this up. So making sure I don't get any of it too near that central oval, because otherwise that adhesive is going to stick and go through the card. So there, let's double check it. Here you go. That's exactly what we wanted to avoid. Can you see that little bit of adhesive? That's where we're trying to avoid that happening. So I'm just going to take that and wipe that out so that I've got a better finish. Take that. That's much neater, much nicer. That's the effect I'd be happy with. Right, I'm just going to wipe off that glue because I don't want it everywhere. And then I've got all these little flowers now. We'll use our tweezers to pick them up and put them on. So that one could go there, but equally I could take it and just disguise that corner the way we discussed. And then overlay this one too. And what about having another one there? So I'm building up a little pattern of flowers. And then to complement the design, I do the same in this bottom corner. And I'm literally, you can see, by layering them up and adding this extra little bit of dimension, I'm changing the design only very slightly, but I'm changing it to suit the elements that I'm working with and the elements that I need to make and correct. So one last little one, see where you're going to go. I think I'll tuck you in right there. So here's one where we've got all the cards overlaid, and here's another one where we've extended that bouquet so it comes out to the sides.